Perfectionism is a sophisticated form of procrastination.
Useful Thoughts Video Podcast.
You think your high standards are the key to your success, but they are actually the reason why your art career is currently stalled. The perfect artwork, which is sitting in your head for months, is not a masterpiece, it's a prison. Let's talk about why perfectionism is a silent thief that kills your artistic future. Does the fear of making a mistake keep you from even picking up a tool? Are you stuck in a cycle of starting a project and never finishing it, one after the other? Are you abandoning your project the moment they create an image of imperfectionism in your head? Are you afraid to walk down a road you've never been walking down before? Stop letting perfect, whatever that means, be in your way for your artistic work and growth. Well, I guess this is a common disease for artists or creative people. Since in artistic work it is not really clear what the outcome will be, it is sometimes hard to even start a project. You need to stop demanding flawlessness, because there is no such a thing in flawlessness in fine arts or music. What is a mistake in arts? Okay, I get it. If you play in a band and you play a song and you're playing the wrong chords, that's obviously a mistake. And if a painter paints a beautiful picture and then suddenly some color splashes all over the image, not by intention, it's obviously a mistake. But in general, there are no mistakes in arts like there are in mathematics or physical calculations. Art comes from the heart and from the soul. It's your artistic piece. It's an expression of yourself with all your flaws and errors you could possibly make. But that's just you, and that's your art. So don't trade your artistic momentum for the safety of flawlessness, because then you would be burying your potential under a mountain of micro corrections. Corrections who just steal your time. So do you want to know the cruel truth about perfectionism? A very sophisticated form of procrastination. I say it again. Perfectionism is a sophisticated form of procrastination. And that procrastination saves you from being judged. If I don't show my artwork to other people, I can't be judged. Absolutely right, but what is art good for if no one else is seeing it? So when I scroll through social media, take a look at the exhibition shots or artworks people post, then I'm overwhelmed because it seems to be so easy for them to create and exhibit their work. Everything looks so perfect and so flawless in the pictures. But when I visit an exhibition and see artworks live, they are the opposite of flawless. Actually, contemporary sculpturing has become very, very shabby because artists can't afford to buy new materials anymore. So they just pick out the stuff from the trash or from the flea market and they build their sculptures out of just stuff they find. So the more trashier art is, the cooler it is. I'm not a big fan of trashy art. I understand that sculpting has become expensive, but you can do something nice still, I guess. It doesn't necessarily need to look like trash. So going back to this mechanism of procrastination, the idea here is if you stop procrastinating and start to produce more, your time is better used. Procrastination and thoughts and thinking might be good to do a YouTube channel like this, but not if you want to produce art. When you look at art at social media, there's also another effect, the effect of sterility. So you see the artwork, but there's basically nothing around it. And maybe there is a small frame of a space around it, but it's exactly the frame that the photographer or the artist curated in that very moment. So everything looks cleaner and more perfect than it actually is. Maybe this is why you think you need to be especially perfect with your productions, because all the other productions look so perfect. But trust me, they're not. Actually, the most vital and most authentic artistic discoveries have been made in a mess, in a chaotic situation. Watch some documentaries about all the artists. Their studios, they were just a big mess. And people loved to work in this mess because everything was there and they didn't need to clean up. Do you think painters like, let's say, Jackson Pollock, did any corrections painting? That would be absurd, wouldn't it? Do you think Pablo Picasso did corrections? Well, he certainly did, but his corrections, his painterly was not about a perfectionistic face or anything. So the opposite is the case. Pablo Picasso became famous because his faces were so totally absurd and imperfect. Also, these micro corrections you might do as a painter, as an architect, as a sculptor, do you think anyone can see them? It's just you. You're the only one who knows how the artwork looked in the process. But all the other people see is the final result. And it doesn't really matter if this spot was here or there. Nobody cares. It's just you. It's just in your head. And there is also the danger of over-polishing. Oh my God. As a potter doing clay sculptures, I have learned that there is a moment where you just need to stop. Because when you start over-polishing, you might remove things that were actually okay, and you could even destroy your artwork. Also, I think now, since we're living in the age of AI, and AI is supposed to work perfectly, it is our task as human beings, as human artists, to be a little bit imperfect, because this is what makes us human, and this is what separates human art from the art of artificial intelligence. I don't even want to call it art. I do not accept AI as artists, neither in music, nor in graphic design, nor anywhere else. Because for me, art comes from the soul, and a computer doesn't have a soul, even when it's trying to simulate one. No, I am not accepting AI art. I used some AI art for my thumbnails, but just because I was too busy to create my own. Now I'm hand drawing all my thumbnails, and I will get rid of the AI thumbnails sooner or later and replace them with my own tiny sketchy artwork. It makes much more sense to build one's career on a whole body, on a whole conglomerate of works, than on one single hidden masterpiece. Of course, how perfectionistic you are in your art is your thing. It's up to you, but you could set some threshold for the quality of your work. Enough must be enough at some point. You could also make a public draft and show the unfinished artwork to other artists who understand what you're doing, or maybe to some friends of yours whom you trust and who are maybe a little bit familiar with your work, and say, hey, look at this work. It's almost finished. What do you think? What could I improve? So, and if they're all like, wow, it's great work, blah, 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 then you don't need to improve anything, okay? Then it's finished and it's done. Your threshold has been reached. People stop wasting energy on perfectionism. What are your experiences with your own perfectionism? Let me know in the comments below. You can also subscribe to the channel to see me again. And if you think this episode may help someone you know, then you can send it. This channel is not only about fine art, it's about my whole perspective on life as an artist and an architect, as a dog owner, as a former musician, and as somebody who reads lots about philosophy, psychology, and other stuff. There's so much thoughts in my head, and this is why I'm making this channel, the Useful Thoughts video podcast. Hope to see you again.